Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Mention in the chat if I'm audible. Hope I'm clear. So in today's session, we will be learning about limits as the students requested. We started with this. We also have to complete. We started with linear algebra. We have done with matrices and determinants. We have many more topics to cover under linear algebra, but today I will first do limits. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. Now, first we will understand the concept of limits. And once we understand concept of limits, we'll see what all properties are there. And then we will start solving problems based on limits. So first we will understand what is a limit. So before we try to understand limit, we'll first see what is a function. We all know what is a function, right? So under limits, we all know what is a function. A function is written like this: y equals to f of x, right? This is how we write a function. Here, y is the dependent variable. So what do you mean by y is equal to f of x? Y is a function of x. Y's value is dependent on x's value. So y is called as dependent variable, and here x is the independent variable. Independent variable. Here, x can take any value. That is the reason it is called independent variable. It can take any value that is part of the approvable or acceptable range, and value of y is dependent on what is the value of x. So that is why we call y as the dependent variable. Say for example, if we have a function y is equal to 3x minus 2. Here, I can give different values for x, and based on value of x, I can find out what is the value of y. Now here, can I put some value for y and find out what should be the value of x to get this particular value of y? Yes, we can do. But then, if you have defined a domain, you have defined a specific range of values for this y and x, then it might not be possible. Say, for example, you are defining values of x and y. X and Y should both belong to natural numbers. Okay. So you know what are natural numbers? Natural numbers are a set of values that starts from one onwards. It is all integer values and whole numbers which starts from one, right? Positive whole numbers you can say. So this is a set of natural numbers. If I say that X and Y belongs to natural numbers, then I cannot randomly take Y equals to 5 and try to find out a natural number X which gives you this value. It may or may not be possible all the time. You might not get a value of x which belongs to n. Say, suppose y is 5, then you have 3x minus 2. Minus 2 goes to left hand side, it becomes plus 2. 5 plus 2 is 7, and then 3x. Now, what is x? X is 7 by 3. Clearly, it is not a natural number, right? You are going to get some decimal value here. You're going to get 2.33. So you're going to get a decimal value. It means x does not belong to natural number. So that is the reason we say y is the dependent variable. X is an independent variable. We can give whatever values we want for x, not for y. So for y, I cannot give some value and say that, okay, for this particular y value, find out what should be x value. It's not always possible. Always, whenever you have this dependent and independent variables, you should give value for independent variable and then correspondingly find out what is the value of dependent variable. Here you take value for x, let x equals to 1. Then y will be equal to 3 into 1 minus 2. That gives you 1 only. Okay. Then let x be equal to 2. So y will be 3 2s are 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. When x is 3, y is equal to 3 3s are 9. 9 minus 2, 7. So if you observe now, based on this, if you observe a pattern, whenever x is getting incremented from 1 to 2, there is an increment of 1 in the value of x. So when there is an increment of 1 in the value of x, in y, there is an increment of 3. And this is not just for one pair of values. For all the pairs of values, this is what we are observing, right? See, when 1 to 2, there is an increase of 1 in the value of x. Whereas in y value, there is an increase of 3. The same thing happens here from 2 to 3. Value of x increases by 1. Whereas from 4 to 7, value of y is increasing by 3. Hope you understood this. Now, based on this observation, okay, based on this observation, can I write when x is 5, when x is 5, when x is 4, it is supposed to be plus 3, which is 10. And when x is 5, it's supposed to be another 3 added, which is 13. Without doing the calculations, can I write directly 13? Yes, we can. So based on 1, how many ever times this x is increasing into 3 is the increase in y's value. So when we identify such relations, it will be easy for us to estimate value of a variable y when x value is given. So this is your example of a function. So far we have not discussed the concept of limits. What I have explained you is what is a function, what is independent variable, and what is a dependent variable. This is what we have discussed. So example here I gave y is equal to 3x minus 2. Okay. Now, what is this limit? When we need this limit, we will see. Say, for example, I have a function like this. Y is equal to x square minus 4 divided by x minus 2. Okay. So I have a function like this in which I have x square minus 4 divided by x minus 2. Let us put different values of for x and we will see what values we will get correspondingly for y and we will try to identify a pattern here. So I will put x value as 0. So what will be y value? When I put x as 0, so this is 0 minus 4, which is minus 4. Here I'll have 0 minus 2, which is minus 2. So when I cancel this, I will get y as 2. Now when x is equal to 1, okay, suppose I take x is equal to 1. What will be the value of y? Let me substitute 1 here. 1 square is 1 minus 4 divided by 1 minus 2. So this is minus 1, which is plus 3. Now, x equal to 3 I'll take. Then what will be value of y? So here we will have 3 square, which is 9. And here we have 3 minus 2. 9 minus 4 is 5 and 3 minus 2 is 1, which is going to be 5. Now, if you observe, whatever is value of x, y value is just plus 2, right? In all the variables, if you have observed, whatever is x value, y value is plus 2. So if x is equal to 2, what should be the value of y according to this observation? Whatever is x value, plus 2 is giving you y value. So now based on this observation, can you tell me if x is 2, what should be the value of y based on the observation that we have done? Yes, can someone tell me what should be the value of y if x value is 2 based on the pattern that we have observed? Based on the pattern we have observed, what do you get? When x is equal to 2, what should be the value of y? Is anyone would like the sessions to be more interactive so that um, it's easy for you to understand? Also, I have planned to identify those students who are regularly being active in the live sessions and who are continuously interacting in the live sessions. And I'm planning to create a separate WhatsApp group for them and share the Zoom links with them so that they can directly connect using Zoom with me, not in YouTube Live. They can directly connect in Zoom so that these sessions, whatever I'm taking, these sessions, they can attend in Zoom. Okay, so that if they have any questions, they can directly ask me. They can unmute and ask, which is not possible if you're attending in YouTube Live. You will be able to just comment, right? If you are regular to the classes and if you're very active during the class, if you're answering, then I will send you the Zoom link so that only those students who are regular and active will be able to attend the same sessions in Zoom. Okay, Rakshita has given answer 4. Yes. So based on the observation, when x is 2, if I add plus 2, y is supposed to be 4. This is based on the observation. But actually what happens when you substitute x as 2 here? When you substitute x as 2, 2 square is 4, you get 4 minus 4 divided by 4 minus 2, which divided by 2 minus 2 because x is 2. You get 0 by 0. 0 by 0 is called as indeterminate form. That is, you cannot determinate the answer. It's called indeterminate, means we cannot determine the answer for this. There is no answer existing for this. Anything divided by 0 can be anything. If denominator is 0, it is still called as indeterminate form. You can have 0 divided by a numerical value. 0 by 4 is 0. 0 by minus 2 is 0. Okay, if numerator is 0, denominator is a non-zero number, it is a valid mathematical operation, you will get 0 as the answer. If numerator is a non-zero number or 0, doesn't matter. If denominator is 0, it is called as indeterminate because we cannot determine the answer for this particular mathematical operation. It is not defined. Division by 0 is not defined. And since you have already done your engineering, you have learned C programming, Java, and all that. You know, you also have division by 0 exception created in Java. I don't know how many of you have noticed it that in Java you have an arithmetic exception and detail of arithmetic exception. One of them is division by 0 exception. Okay. So division by 0 is not defined in mathematics because I'm sure all of you know the fact, but still for those who do not know, for those who don't know this uh, fact, any number divided by 0, any number, if you take divided by some number, whatever answer you get, you can verify it by doing the reverse process. Multiply these two, you should get this, right? When you multiply 2 and 4, you get back 8. It means what your answer is correct. If you take 15 by 3, you get 5. How do I verify this? If I multiply 3 and 5, I should get back 15. So when we do the reverse arithmetic procedure, if you're getting back the question, that means whatever answer you have got is correct. So suppose you have 0 by 5, and if you write it as 0, now 5 into 0, does it give you 0? Yes. So this procedure is correct. But if you write 5 by 0 as 0, now, if you multiply these two, will you get back 5? No. You cannot write any number here such that when multiplied 0, you can get 5, right? So what is division basically? This divisor and the quotient, if you multiply, you should get back the number that is being divided. Now, when you are dividing a number by 0, whatever number you write as answer, when you multiply it with 0, you will not get back 5. Therefore, division by 0 is not defined. Similarly, if you have 0 by 0 is equal to 0, if you write like this, and if you say, okay, if I multiply these two, I will get back 0, right? 0 into 0 gives you 0. And you might think it is correct, but the issue here is whatever you write is a correct answer. Okay. 0 into 10 is also 0. 0 into 100 also gives you 0. So what is the answer? Whether it is 0, 10 or 100. Again here, any number you write, it will be correct because any number multiplied with 0 gives you 0. Here, no number when you multiply with 0 gives you this non-zero number. Therefore, division by 0 is not defined irrespective of what is there in the numerator. Denominator should not have 0. So in all the limit problems, what you basically have to do is first check in the denominator. For the given value, is the denominator becoming 0? If denominator becomes 0, then you have to do simplification. You have to apply different properties, formulas to simplify the problem. If denominator is not becoming 0, just substitute whatever is the x value given, and that will be your answer. Whatever answer you get, that is going to be the final answer. Okay. So indeterminate form is division by 0. If the denominator has 0, then we cannot determine the answer for that, and that is called as an indeterminate form. Now, when is this required? As I told you, based on the observation, if I put x as 2, I'm supposed to get y as 4. But in the actual formula, when I'm substituting, I'm getting 0 by 0. So why is this happening? If I plot this in a graph, if I plot it in a graph in x and y axis, when x is 0, y is 2. Okay, when x is 0, y is 2. And when x is 1, y is 3. And when x is 2, exactly at this point, it is not defined. Again, when x equals to 3, y is 5. So if I plot this as a straight line, when x is equal to 2, I will get y as 4. Okay. Based on the observation, based on the geometrical representation in both these things, based on the observation and based on the straight line, when x is equal to 2, y is supposed to be 4. But as per the definition, y is not 4. Now we try to find out the left hand and right hand limits of this. So we see from left hand side, when we are moving towards 2, when x is moving towards 2, y is moving towards 4, right? Similarly, this is left hand limit. Right hand limit is when you're moving from the right hand side. Also, is it moving towards 4? Yes, y is moving towards 4. From both left hand and from right hand side, when x is arriving at a point, y is arriving a particular value. So here, when left hand and right hand limits are equal, we say that as a limiting value. But exactly at this point, y does not exist. Okay, exactly at this point, there is a break in the graph. Y does not exist, but it is approaching 4. This is called the limiting value of a function. So here we will not write, we cannot write like this because when x is 2, y is not 4. So this way we cannot write, because when x is 2, y is not 4, it is not existing. So how do we write? Limit of this particular function as x tends to 2 is equal to 4. So what do we say? How do we read it? Limit x tends to 2, f of x is equal to 4 or y is equal to 4. It means as x tends to, as x approaches to, y approaches 4. Did everybody understand this? As x approaches 2, y is approaching 4. But f of 2 is not 4. Means in this f of x, if I said this itself is f of x. Okay. In this f of x, in place of x, if I substitute 2, I am not getting 4. But I observe that as x is approaching 2, f of x or y is approaching 4. But exactly at that point, it is not equal. So this value is called as the limiting value. Okay. So this is called as limiting value of the function at x is equal to 2. Did everybody understand this? Limiting value of the function at x is equal to 2. So this is the concept of limits. Why do we need this? As I told you earlier, Based on a function, we have a pattern, and once we observe a pattern, we will have to constantly keep displaying the results of a particular calculation. Say, for example, all of us see the stock market index values that is continuously being displayed on the screen. We see this cricket scores where they continuously display the strike rate, the run rate, the existing run rate, the required run rate. All these things are continuously being displayed. At no point in time you end up this situation as the denominator becoming zero. And can you write an error message not existing, division not possible? It's not professional, right? On a live screen when the results are showing up, for certain points you can't say it does not exist. Value doesn't occur. There is an exception created. So that doesn't seem good. So what we always do is whenever there are certain continuous mathematical calculations involved, if there is a situation where we are analyzing change of one variable with respect to another variable, and we see that there is a discontinuity here. This is discontinuity. Function is not continuous at a certain point. Whenever there is a break, we try to write the most nearest value and we proceed with our calculations or whatever procedure is been going on. This is the purpose of limiting values. Is everyone clear with the limit concept? Just put it in the chat if you're all comfortable, understood the limit concept. We will discuss few properties and we will solve some problems based on this. We'll see certain properties. I'll share this notes. I think yesterday's notes also I'm supposed to share. I will share the notes in the WhatsApp group. If you're still not part of our WhatsApp group, in the video description, links are given. You join the WhatsApp. Whether you are preparing for PGCET, MTech, or you're preparing for GATE exams, these concepts are required. Okay, so just put it in the WhatsApp group. I mean, join the WhatsApp group if you have still not joined. This is the concept of limit. Many people do not understand what is limit only. So limit is basically you're trying to find out function's value at a given x value. Simple. Find value of f of x when x value is given. If it's a continuous function, if the value exists, then write the value. Simple. If the function is discontinuous at that point and value does not exist at that point, only then you have to do certain simplifications. How to do simplifications depends on what type of problems we are solving. Based on different types of problems, we have different types of simplification. We will learn that, okay? And you simplify the given function and then find the answer. So algebra of limits, this is basic properties using which you can simplify limits. If you have limit of two functions and they're added, sum of limits of function the same as sum of their limits. You can just individually apply the limits and then add. You don't have to add this and then find the limit. You can individually, if you know the limits, apply them and simplify. Similarly, for difference also, for addition and for difference, same thing. For product, if you have product of two functions, you can find out limits of both the functions and then multiply. Similarly, if you have division of two functions, you can find out limits separately and then divide the limits. Limiting values, you can then divide. So these are very basic algebra of limits. We have many more properties and formulas. We'll solve one by one, but first we will solve certain problems based on this concept. Let's first find limits of these terms. And always remember, this indeterminate form occurs only when the denominator is becoming zero. So if you have any question where there is no denominator only, then obviously you don't need any simplification. Just substitute the value and get the answer. See, there are three questions here. We're supposed to find the limits for this 3. If you can observe, in none of these questions, we have denominator, right? In all the 3 questions, we do not have denominator, means division by 0 will not occur only. Division by 0 will not happen. You have to do simplification only if denominator is 0. Denominator is 0. Only if in this case you need to do simplification. Otherwise, just substitute given value of x and find out the answer. See, for the first one, limit x tends to 1, x cube minus x squared plus 1. Just substitute the value of x as 1. 1 cube is 1, minus 1 square is 1, plus 1. 1 and minus 1 gets cancelled, answer is 1. That's it. Now, second question, limit x tends to 3. Again here, you don't have to check or you don't have to think whether I have to do simplification here or not, because denominator is not becoming 0 because there is no denominator. Just substitute value of x. X is 3 into 3 plus 1. Wherever x is there, substitute this limiting value, whatever they have given. So 3 plus 1 is 4, into 3 is 12. Now, can you solve the third question? I will give you 1 minute time. Solve it, then I will solve. X is tending to minus 1. Look at the numbers that you have. It is from 1 to x power 10. Substitute the value of x as 1 minus 1 and simplify this. You don't have to substitute it for all the 11 values here. See, this is x power 1 and 1 is nothing but x power 0, right? Totally 11 terms are there. You don't have to substitute for all of them. Just identify a pattern and simplify. Rakshita, yes, good. Rakshita has been a very consistently watching, practicing student as far as I have observed. Next week onwards, we will share links, direct Zoom links with the students who are regularly attending the sessions. So that in case you have any doubts, it will be easier for you to directly ask by unmuting yourself. Others, if you want to attend the sessions directly in Zoom, then only advantage is that you can ask doubts directly during the session. As and when you have doubts, you can unmute and ask the doubts. Yes, Rakshita has solved. Others? See, x is minus 1. Okay. Now, this x is going to be minus 1 and x square is going to be plus 1. Negative number square will be plus 1. Then you will have x cube, which is going to be minus 1. So you will have an alternative minus 1 and plus 1. And final x power 10 is plus 1. A negative number with even power will give you plus positive value. Negative number with odd power will give you negative value. Okay. So x power 1 is negative, x power 2 is positive. These two gets cancelled. Similarly, x power 3 is negative, x power 4 is positive. Those two gets cancelled. So from 1 to 10, you have 5 negative numbers and 5 positive numbers. All that will get cancelled except this 1 in the beginning that remains. So the answer is 1. Understood, everybody? This is about very simple limit problems where we do not have denominator at all. Okay, next we will have, we'll take another set of problems where there is a denominator as well. You can take this screenshot of the question. We will not be solving all these. We'll solve few of them. Others you can try to solve it yourself. See the first question. Here, see, we have fractions, right? We have denominators. So there is a possibility that denominator becomes zero, and you will have to do simplification before applying limits. And whenever there is a fraction, first thing you have to do is whatever is this x tends to value given, substitute that only in the denominator and check if it's becoming zero. If not, substitute in the numerator also and simplify. That's it. So x tends to 1, denominator we have is x plus 100. So it is not becoming zero. So just substitute the value. Here I have 1 plus 100. This is 1 square, which is 1 only. So we get 2 by 101. That is the answer. That's all. No further simplification required because denominator is not becoming zero. So whatever answer you get itself is the limit. Now the next one. First we substitute 2 in the denominator. Denominator you have x square is 2 square, right, which is 4. 4 minus 4 gives you 0. Okay, so it doesn't matter what is there here. Denominator is becoming 0. So we need simplification. So how can we do the simplification? See the numerator, it is an algebraic equation. So we will do simplification here. We will do factorization, or we will take out some common factors to make sure that denominator which is giving it 0 value, that should be removed. So for the second question here, first question, no need of any answer. But second question, this numerator x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x is there. I will take out x as common. Okay, I'll take out x as a common factor. After taking out x, I will have x squared minus 4x plus 4. X squared minus 4x plus 4 after taking x common. Now, after taking this common, yes, after taking x common, we have this. Now, this one, if you can factorize if you want, or if you observe, it is nothing but x minus 2 whole square. Okay, it is x minus 2 whole square. So, we will write this as x into x minus 2 whole square. This is your numerator. Limit x tends to 2. Okay, denominator we have x square minus 4. Now, as long as you're substituting, as long as you're simplifying it, you have to keep writing this limit in the each and every step. Here we have x square minus 4, which is of the form a square minus b squared. Okay, you can write it as a square minus b square, x square minus 4. So x square minus 4 can be written as 2 square, which gives us x minus 2 into x plus 2. X minus 2 into x plus 2. This we have simplified. Now numerator, we have seen it is x minus 2 whole square, and denominator is x minus 2 into x plus 2. So one of this x minus 2 gets cancelled. Now what is the purpose of simplification of the function? If you are getting division by 0, the purpose of simplification is there is a factor in the denominator that is making it 0. Okay, so we are supposed to remove that factor. So we have removed this x minus 2 factor here. Now we can apply the limit. When we are applying the limit, we should not write this limit. Just substitute in place of x, you substitute 2. You get 2 into, this is 2 minus 2. This becomes 0 now. And here x plus 2 is 2 plus 2, which is 4. See, now it is still 0, but numerator is 0, denominator is not 0. 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 into 2 is 0, 0 by 4 is 0. So answer for the second question is 0, but we have got it 0 after we have done the simplification. Initially, first try whenever there is a fraction, first substitute this limiting value in the denominator. If denominator is not becoming 0, like our first question, substitute the value in the numerator also and get the answer. If the denominator is becoming 0, then see x is 2, right? It is becoming 0 because there is an x minus 2 factor in the denominator. Cancel it from the denominator. That is the priority. So here when we have simplified, we see that there is x minus 2 in the denominator that is getting cancelled. But there is one x minus 2 in the numerator also, but that is fine. Now when you substitute, you're getting 0 by 4, which is 0. So answer for this question is 0. Now, third question, I think you can do it yourself. Same fraction is written in reverse. Is the reciprocal of that is written. See, x square minus 4 is there in the numerator now. X cube minus 4x square plus 4x is in the denominator. Same simplification you have to do. Take out x as common. And whatever you have here, the quadratic equation, you can write it as x minus 2 whole square. And then one of the x minus 2 gets cancelled. You will still have another x minus 2 in the denominator. So then you will have to complete the square and simplify. You can try that. And if you're not able to do, I'll send you the solution in the group. I want you to try that. Next, we will see the fourth question. Limit x tends to 2. Again, substitute 2 in the denominator. 2 square is 4 minus 5 into 2 is 10 plus 6. This is again 0, right? Denominator is 0. So let us simplify this. Fourth question. Limit x tends to 2. I'll directly write the simplified form. X square minus 5x plus 6. X square minus 5x plus 6. If you factorize this, you can do factorization. If you do not know factorization, in my other playlist, PGCET playlist for MBA MCA, in that under max videos, you have factorization concept. You can go through that. I'm sure all of you remember factorization. After factorizing, you're going to get x minus 2 into x minus 3 as the factors. Okay. So I'm directly writing it. X minus 2 into x minus 3 as the factors in the denominator. And for the numerator, I will take x square common. We have x cube minus 2x square. I'll take x square common. We get x minus 2 in the numerator. Now this x minus 2 and x minus 2 gets cancelled. Now substitute x value here in the numerator and denominator. 2 square becomes 4. Here it is 2 minus 3, which is minus 1. 4 by minus 1 gives you minus 1. Understood this solution? Did all of you understand this? It's again just factorization we have done. Fifth question also, I would like you to try. You have two fractions, and in both the fractions, it is becoming 0. When you take x as 1, 1 square is 1. So 1 minus 1 is becoming 0. First fraction is becoming 0. And in the second fraction also, it is 1 minus 3 plus 2, which is also becoming 0. So both fractions, you have to factorize, then simplify it further if necessary, and then apply the limit. So I want you to solve question number 3 and 5 by yourself. In case you have doubts, you can ask in the WhatsApp group, and if you have solved and if you have any doubt, I'll check what is the mistake done. Or if you don't know how to solve it, just send it in the WhatsApp group. We will solve it in tomorrow's session. Now, next result that we can use for simplification. So this is one type of simplification. If denominator is not there, then just substitute and get the answer. If you have denominator, then first check if denominator is becoming 0. Or if it's not becoming 0, just substitute, get the answer. If it is becoming 0 and you have questions like this, which are algebraic equations, then you can simplify it in this way. Okay. Substitute these algebraic equations, factorize them, take common factor, some or the other factor will get cancelled, And for the remaining terms, you substitute the value and get the answer. So suppose the denominator is 0. And if the question is of this form, all these different simplification methods, you are going to use only if denominator becomes 0. Okay. Here, you have to identify this pattern. Only if this pattern is existing, you can use this direct formula for the answer. Limit x tends to a, x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a is equal to n into a power n minus 1. So what does it mean? X tends to a is given. In the denominator, you have x minus a. In the numerator, whatever is x power minus a power should also be same. If this format you can convert, then directly you can write the answer as n into a power n minus 1. Example is, if you have limit x tends to 2, x square minus 4 divided by x minus 2, which was the example that we took for understanding limits concept, right? X square minus 4 by x minus 2 was the example that we took for understanding limits concept. So the same thing, if you have, we use this formula here, what is n? You can write this 4 as 2 square, right? Write 4 as 2 square. So in place of a we have 2. In place of n also we have 2. So what's the answer? N into a power n minus 1. Here both n and a are 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 power 1 is 2 into 2 is 4. 4 will be the answer. Suppose you have limit x tends to 2, x square minus 16, x power 4 minus 16 divided by x minus 2. So here, you don't have to think much to simplify this. You have x tends to 2, denominator is x minus 2. Here x power 4 is there. Then obviously 16 should be written as 2 power 4. And this gives what is n? In this case, n is 4, a is 2, right? N into a power n minus 1. Okay, n minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is 3, 2 cube is 8, 8 into 4 is 32, will be the answer. Is this concept clear, everyone? How to apply this? Sometimes you will have this x square term or the power term itself in both numerator and denominator. That's our third example. Suppose you have a problem like this. Limit x tends to 2, x power 5 minus 32 divided by x cube minus 8. Suppose you have a question like this. X power 5 minus 32 divided by x cube minus 8. You see, in the denominator, you are supposed to have x minus 2, right? So, both the numerator and denominator, you should divide by x minus 2 to get the general format, the standard format. X power 5 by 5 minus 32 can be written as 2 power 5 divided by x minus 2 whole divided by x cube minus 8 can be written as 2 cube by x minus 2. So what are we doing here? Dividing both numerator and denominator by x minus 2. Why is this necessary? To apply the formula, we need to have this format. X power n minus a power n divided by x minus a. Now see, we have that format. X power 5 minus 2 power 5 divided by x minus 2. Right? Now it is like two different problems. Now for the numerator, n is 5 and a is 2. And for denominator, n is 3 and a is 2. Now we will apply the formula for numerator and denominator separately. This is n into a power n minus 1. Here, n into a power n minus 1. Hope this is clear. 5 minus 1 is 4. 2 power 4 is 16. 16 into 5, or we will just write it as it is. This is 2 power 4 and 3 into 2 power 2. Now this gets cancelled. We will get 2 square here, which is 4. 4 into 5 is 20 by 3. Did you all understand this example? Now, when you have a problem like this, you don't have to do this step. See, this particular step not necessary because you're not writing anyways descriptive answer, right? You need the final answer. But just you have to identify this pattern. You know that this is an intermediate step, but without this directly you can write this step. So this is x power 5 by x power 5 minus 2 power 5 divided by x power 3 minus 2 power 3. So for this, n is 5 into a power n minus 1, and here n is 3 into a power n minus 1. Just do it carefully. With respect to n and a, you have multiple n's and a's here in the numerator and denominator. Just do it carefully. Did everybody understand this particular example? Sometimes a positive number will be given. If a positive number is given, you can write it as minus negative number and then simplify. Let me solve this question. Solve this. I'll give you 1 minute time. Similar to the previous third example I have given, you can solve this. Yes, what will be the answer for this? Same as the previous third question. What is n and a for the numerator and denominator? For the numerator, n is 15 and a is 1. A remains same for both numerator and denominator. Here n is 10. So what is the answer? N into a power n minus 1. And for the denominator again n into a power n minus 1. Now 1 raised to any power is 1 only. So the answer is 15 by 10. Cancel this by 5. You get 3 by 2 as the answer. Hope all of you have understood this. Is this clear, everybody? Yes. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll share a few more problems in the WhatsApp group. We will see if you have trigonometric limits also. I'll just check in your syllabus if you have trigonometric limits. Okay, one question. So, In the next session, we will continue with differentiation, and I will share some practice questions for you in the WhatsApp group. If you're not a part of the WhatsApp group, you can join the group by clicking on the link that is present in the video description. Yeah. Positive integer n so that limit x tending to 3, x power n minus 3 power n divided by x minus 3 is 108. Here, they have given the answer. We are supposed to find out what is value of n. So limit x tends to 3, x power n minus 3 power n divided by x minus 3. This is of the standard format. Now let us first write the formula for this. What's the formula? It is n into a power n minus 1. Here we don't know what is n. I'll just write it as n into 3 power n minus 1. Okay, n into 3 power n minus 1. And that is equal to 108. Now we have to find out for which of these values of n do we get this 108. Now 3 power n minus 1, if you know laws of indices, a power m minus n if you have, you can write it as a power n divided by a power n. So this 3 power n minus 1, I will write it as 3 power n divided by 3. Okay. Now this 3 goes to the right hand side. N into 3 power n is equal to 108 into 3. Now what you have to do is, or even at this stage, even in this step, just substitute n values and find out which of this gives you 108. Okay, suppose n is 3. We'll take option A. If n is 3, and if you substitute in this 3 into 3 power n minus 1, 3 minus 1 is 2. So this is nothing but 3 cube, which is 27. You will not get 108. So option A is wrong. Now let's take option B. So it is n into 3 power n minus 1, right? 4 into 3 power 4 minus 1. So just see what you get. This is 4 cube, which is 27. 4 into 27 is 80 plus 28 is 108. So we get 108 when n is 4. Okay. Here we have substituted formula and this is what we have got. Now in this we will check each of these n values and see for which of them we get 108 as the right hand side value. Yes, let me know any questions you have. Any questions? Questions? Okay. I think then we have few more limit problems actually. We will see. Tomorrow is yeah. So tomorrow either we'll continue few more limits problems. I'll share few limits problems with you and certain limits formulas also. Try to solve them. If you're not able to solve, if you have any doubts, let me know. Tomorrow we will have limits class only. We will continue with few more problems. Otherwise, we will continue with differentiation. Same timing, we will have class tomorrow also. We'll have in the same time. Um, So share the WhatsApp group link with your classmates also. We would like to have more participants for the live sessions. And see, we have many more classes planned ahead. We are planning to have our data analytics class. I take data analytics in a lot of colleges. As a visiting professor, I take classes for Jain University, SRM University. And then I take classes in Bangalore. I take classes in Bangalore Institute of Technology. I take classes for BNMIT, which is in the second stage. I take classes for C programming, Python, and career training, that is placement training, aptitude training, and all that. And I take data structure classes, C programming, Python, and all that. Okay. So in our channel, you already have C++ data structure videos already. So start going through that as your basics. so that we will discuss only the MCQs and the type of questions that you get in the exam. I won't be able to completely explain all the concepts because lack of time. So I will share the video links, topic-wise video links in your WhatsApp group. I want you all to go through all of them. Only then you will be able to solve the MCQs. Okay, we'll just have like a quick revision kind of thing in our live sessions. Complete explanations of the topics of this programming and all will be difficult. We will not have enough time. So if you go through the basic videos, once you have your all your foundations right, we will directly do a quick revision and we will discuss only important topics and important questions and how to answer them. Okay. So just join the WhatsApp group if you're still not part of it. Share the WhatsApp group link along among your WhatsApp groups also, and let more students get benefited from the free sessions. And I'll be sharing some practice questions with you all. And going forward from coming week, we'll also be getting test links. You can take the test and topic-wise tests will be given. You can take the tests and you can use it for your self-assessment. Okay. All the best to all of you. We'll see tomorrow again during the same time. Just confirm in the WhatsApp group by tomorrow afternoon at least. Not by evening, by 5 o'clock, you can confirm whether you want some more limits problems to be solved or whether to continue with differentiation. Accordingly, we will plan the session. Okay, I'll share some limits problems in the WhatsApp group for practice. Okay, see you all in tomorrow's session.